initiating this whole thing. Back in the summer, Mike and I just talked a little bit. Quick review on myself. I was raised in St. John. I played hockey in St. John. I went to play in the Q, got drafted by Chicago, and I got old. Now I'm here. That's it in a nutshell. All right. What's going to happen? We're going to do a little bit up in here. We're going to teach you all about skates, what to look for, purchasing skates. Then I'm going to do the biomechanics of the forward stride up here with you. I'll show you some videos on it. Then I'll take you down on the ice and we'll get you limbered up for tomorrow. So how it works for tomorrow, I need, we're on the ice at 7 o'clock for 4 hours. And I need you to break up. We got 22 or so. I need 5 to 6 people for every hour. So if we can coordinate that for tomorrow morning, we can add P1 first, IB2 second, novice 1, then novice 2. So the thing is, we need the coaches, and what will happen, I will lead you through what we're going to do here tonight, and I'll give you drills and everything that you can take back to your team. What I would like you to do is to turn to this page, it's near the back.
No, that's that one right there. You never got one of those. Another, do you have a couple of those? Thank you, sir.
Everybody have? Okay, on this is the bottom of your blade. This is what the bottom of your blade looks like here. So what we're looking at is this here, just so that you can understand. You've probably all had the experience of going in, hitting your skate sharp, and you come out, you step in the ice, you wonder if you get them sharpened or not. All right, so what we're looking at here, you can see on your left-hand side a bad sharpening. On the right-hand side, you can see a good sharpening. So on the right-hand side that we're looking at, and what you want to see is the level edges. You can see, and what I'm talking about is in this area right here. We're looking for level edges. Your radius of a hollow is right in there, in this groove. That's in there, and that's what you're looking at. So when you get into the radius of hollow, you can go from a 1/4 inch up to 2 inches, whatever it is. But the flatter the number, meaning like 9/16, 1 inch as you're coming up, the faster you will go. You will still have good edges. The edges should be sharp, but you will go faster. Your bite is not as deep, but you'll cruise along the ice. Paul Coffey and Niedermeyer and them, they were pretty good skaters. They could motor right along. Coffey ran like an inch, 1.25 radius of hollow. So what I'm talking about, and I'll pass these around, you can see on this one here is 5/16 on this gauge right here. Then it runs all the way up to 3 inches. So you can see the depth that's going in. So what happens on the wheel of the skate sharpener, it traces a pattern. When the diamond comes down lower, it traces a pattern on it, and that's going to determine your depth. Okay, and that's what you're looking for. Myself, I skate around 5/8 to 3/4, so you can go that way. And so what will happen is if you get that deep radius of hollow, we'll say a 3/8 or a 5/16 or whatever, you go to stop and all you'll do is just keep on going over, you won't stop. But if you had like a 3 inch, what you do, you can slide right along with it, but you're going to increase your speed. So what happens is if I have a high edge and a low edge, what will happen is, and you probably have seen a lot of this, the young participant loses a lot of confidence because, well, geez, I can't turn this way, I'm going to fall, or I turn that way and fall. They get a favor and they'll stay on one edge. When you go to get them sharpened, what you are looking for is that level edge. All right, very, very important. What you're looking for down through the side of it is that there's no burr on the side. All right, and what happens is it's called a false edge, a weak edge, and you don't have that crispness on your edges. And when you touch the ice, what should happen is that you float right along the ice. These are my own. You can take, I'll just pass those along, and you're looking for the smoothness down through the center. You can see how easy it is. And I'll just give you one little experience. I went to Windsor, Ontario, and took specialized training in the maximum edge system that is used by over 300 professional teams. I get up there, go in, he introduced me to everybody, and that he sharp as a pair of skates in front of me, then he runs it across his arm like this here. So I brought it just for a second. What he did was do this right here to me, and I looked at him, and I just said, I come over right here for this. Anyway, so what happens, you can see, that'll pull the nails right off. And then he runs it across his face, and he runs it across his throat, and it just rolling into the water. Anyways, it's all about how smooth it is, how fine-tuned those edges are, and that's what you're looking for. So a tip, take your quarter, nickel, dime, whatever, before you even leave the shop, and just put it on just to see if they're level. You can tell if they're level or not. There's a gauge that it's called the quick square. It's this one right here. And what happens, it'll just tell you if it's not in your book, it'll just tell you if you have the level edges or not. And it's very important because you're trying to build confidence in these people, and if they don't have good sharpening, then it defeated the whole thing. Now, there's the thing that's called the angle of deviation, all right? And what that is, it's this right here. And what happens is, on a 6-foot person, we'll say myself, if I was looking on this square right here, and if this, here's the back part that hooks on the blade, this is your leveler here, telling you if you're level or not. If it's down 2/1000ths of an inch, and it's up 2/1000 of an inch, all right, you're out 4/1000ths of an inch. If you do all the math on it, it's all right here, I can, for you mathematicians, I can give it to you here. I would have to compensate at the top up here by 2 inches. All right, just because we're out on the bottom. So already, if we don't have those good edges, we are putting them at a disadvantage. So it's just something to look for. All right, so good on that. All right, so back to this here. You can see where on the picture on the right, on the left-hand side, you can see the 90 degrees that's in there. You want a good bite angle in there. And what happens is, you remember, I don't know if they still have it or not, you have the people that used to climb up the poles and they do all their work, and they had the little spikes that would dig in. It's the same idea. What would happen is that would bite right into the wood. And that's the same idea with this here. It want to bite into the wood. So, the flatter in this area right in here, you're going to go faster. Like with us, if we put the deeper radius in, we're going to go slower, we're going to work harder, and what will happen is come the third grade, you're going to have the heavy legs. Good on that? Okay, on a profile, when you get talking about profiles, this is a profile right here. And you can see, did you get my? Yeah. You can see right in this here, I'm going to show you these two skates. It's a left and a right. I just went down to the store and I bought them, the used ones. So when I laid this out, as you can see my 3 marks is on here. So I laid it out, and when I measured it off, it was 12 in the back, it's 13 in the front. So meaning, that's the distance from the holder out to here. So this person is skating uphill like this. Exaggeration. On his left one, when I measured it off, it was 13 and a half on the bottom, 14 and a half on the top. So they're skating like this uphill. So what I did is I profiled one. I'll pass this around eventually. But when you put the profile center up onto it here, what happens when his weight, he's only touching there. But if he moves his weight backwards on the arrows, his weight would go right here. All right? Now, when you profile it, See how the whole thing sets right in now? It's all setting right in there, and it makes a huge difference. So there's what it looks like. This is a combination profile with an 8 foot in the front and a 9 foot on the back. All right. So this is what the profile looks like when you set the skate up for them to succeed. And what I do all the time is I build pitch. Is that one of my skates somewhere?
I'm running one back here.
And I'll tell you what pitch, I got one here. What the pitch is, you can see on mine here, it's greater here, the amount of steel is greater here than it is here. All right, and what happens is I moved you ahead and it put the weight onto your balls of your feet, and that's where you want your weight, is in that area there. So you're setting the whole skate up for them to succeed. So you started off in a good foot, expression there, but you started off in a right foot, I guess, and so that the skate is going to work with them and not with them. What you should be able to determine is when you watch that skate that's going across the ice, if you focus on it, that skate, all it'll do is just glide right across the ice. And you probably run into it where the skate will go. It goes like this, right? Or you can see that the skate is dragging through the ice. And it should not be. I don't know if you people have it up here or not, is where they're taking the skate and they're putting the groove down through the center. Is that?
Yeah, I've seen people do that.
Okay. And so what you're doing, what's happening there is you're getting into pounds per square inch. All right? When you wear, if you wear high heels.
I don't, but thank you for
Okay,
using
but if
it.
you did,
No, it's good. I understand. I'm sorry. I'll say I do.
I do.
all right, how about you? You're the
I do.
demonstrator, right? High heels right here. So you don't want the high heels to be worn in hardwood floors, because the high heel, that you look at it, it's that much there, it'll dent the hardwood floor. So you're into that pounds per square inch. So when we're talking about it, we're looking at pounds per square inch through this area. So if we can flatten it out, that means we're gonna go a lot faster, right? But if you get into the groove where they're putting that groove in, you've eliminated some of the area that's going to take some of the blow of the pounds per square inch, all right, which is going to increase more pounds per square inch because you have a smaller area that's digging into the ice. So this is where you're getting into pounds per square inch so that you can level everything out. So if you can raise your number in your sharpening, it would help you a lot.
So that groove in the middle doesn't help the kids. One of the kids got done last year. It didn't make any difference. I didn't think he kept it very long.
No, I can't see it helping at all.
Yeah.
Because you're into that weight factor and everything. And you all know what happens when the skate goes across the ice. It creates friction. Friction is heat. Heat melts the ice. Then you gotta get that water moving, right? You gotta move that water through. And so it's, like I say, it's the pounds per square inch and everything in that. So that's what a profile is there. On alignment, what alignment is you can have the horizontal alignment where the blade goes this way. A vertical alignment is where the blade is going to go this way. And I've been very successful in the fact that, like I'm an older guy, so the beer league guys come in. What'll happen, I don't know them, I'll put them in, I have a gauge that's home, I put them in the gauge, and I look at him, Jesus, you have a right knee problem. He looks at me, he says, why would you say that? He wouldn't give me the answer right away. I said, well, the skate's telling me that you could have a right knee problem. And what would happen is that the skate would lay out like this. All right, so you're taking your leg, coming like this, and bringing it back into your hip. So which is going to tax your adductor muscles in your knee area. All right, so if you play Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, start Monday, you feel pretty good. Come Tuesday morning, your knees hurt like crazy. Come Wednesday morning, they're starting to feel a little better. You do it all over, and it's just a cycle over and over. So I straighten the skate up for them, the way they go. So that is a vertical alignment, is when you get into what would happen is that you would pop the pins out and put the wedge in. So I did it on this skate here, and I'll pass it around. And you can see right in this area on the inside. If you're standing like this on the ice, all right, what is happening? It's telling you that you need alignment. If you're standing straight up and down, you're looking pretty good. If you're standing inwards, you're looking pretty good. So let's go to our page right here. So you can see on the upper left-hand corner, you have imaginary neutral line that goes down through your leg. And what you want is the skate to line up with that, all the way down through. All right, you can see on the right-hand, or so let's go in underneath it. And you can see when you're looking at the back, the skates are up and down. And that's what you want to see, is this up and down area. Now go to the right-hand side, you can see what I was talking about with the skate that was lying outside. Okay, so what happens is you're taxing your whole joint system. And you can see what it looks like from the back side on the bottom right. Good on that? Okay, I gotta back this up just one little bit. It's on right here. Okay, another corner store skate. And what's happening here, got it? You can see they've taken all off the back here, and they've left a lot in the front. Remember the old form of called rockering? All right, and that's what's gone on here. So they've taken it off there, taken it off there. And so what's happening, this person is skating uphill, in which you're taxing your whole joint system, because you know what it's like when you ride a bike uphill, you grunt, you groan, and you're doing the same thing right here on this. So if you're buying the secondhand skate, the best advice I can give you is you're looking for the blade, how much blade is left. You're looking to see if this and this is still intact. And if it's equal as much as possible, then what you want to do is look down the back side right through here, and you want to see if they're straight. When you go to the store, don't be scared to ask them to bring out 5, 6, 7, 8 boxes of the same skate. Then try them all on, and I'll take those 2. All right, don't be scared. That's what they're getting paid for. The other thing is that you want to look down this way here to see if the blade is straight. I mean, there's $1,000 skates that I end up, I'll do something to them. That $100 skates, you might not do anything to them. So don't be scared on that side of it to look at it there. It's okay, on the lacing pattern of skates, it's not in this here. What happens is it goes snug, tight, snug. All right, and that's what you want, because what has to happen here is the ankle has to be able to bend. If the ankle doesn't bend, you're not going to get your knee out over your toe. You got to get the knee out over the toe by 2 inches, 50 millimeters. All right. On the lacing pattern, on myself, what I have is I come up to here, I skip this one, and I do those 2, and I leave the top one undone. I have to have a lot of movement in my ankle. The old days, what would happen, they would put this one in, then this, out comes the shin pad, the sock goes around that, then you put the tape all around it. And it's like putting your legs in cast. You cannot bend. That knee has to come forward, and you'll see tonight what happens. Now, lace bite, I have severe lace bite. I've got the pad inside, I got the pad on the sides and everything. And the reason why I have severe lace bite is I do a lot of ankle work with the kids. And I really promote the aspect of the ankle. Is what'll happen from here to here, you have 45% power. From here to here is 40% power. And the 15% power comes out of the ankle area. And you're going to use your calf muscle on that. And I'll pass this around here. Let those go either way. And I have the same one here. And what happens here is that you can see the gray line is your hip area. All right? That's where the 45% power is coming out of, all right? Then it transferred the green line, or sorry, the blue line is your knee area. Then the green line turns into the ankle area. And so what happens, you're getting the power, it's coming out of here, it's coming down, and it's going out here, then you want to use the calf muscle. So this here is very important. And what I see a lot of is that the kids are like this. There's no ankle movement in this area right here. You've got it, why not use it? All right, and so what would happen is that this is being pushed out here, then it goes like this here. You're going to flex your ankle, so all you're doing is doing this here. And you'll get a lot more speed, and you want that toe flick. You've probably all heard of the toe flick, right? And that's where it's coming from, is in that area. So, little recap, laces, snug, tight, snug, tie. I do all the time, is I tie the bow the left or right side. You have an artery that's coming down into the foot, right down through the center, and that's where you don't want to pinch that artery off. Good? A little tip on your alignment. So we have the alignment, and wherever the skate is, it's here. We can align this way. You align this way. The tip is, if you want to check yourself, get on the blue line, put your stick underneath like this here, a couple of strides, then you have to go like this here. All right, your foot goes that way. If you're constantly taking your shoulders to go like this, you got to move the holder. The holder has to be moved so that it'll make you go straight. Look at your car. If it doesn't go straight, then you're in trouble, right? You sit there, you're pulling it back, it's frustrating, and the same thing happens here. And you'll see the same thing will happen. You see a bent blade, you'll come into this. Sometimes, same thing happens there. Get that one there. And this here, just jumping around a little bit I am. I'll pass this around. And this is where the angle of deviation comes into play. And the formula is right on the front page. On this one here. You can have a look at that. All right, I'll just quickly go through this here. There's it'll give you some information on the hip muscles that are being used. Then it also gives you can look at this later. You will get all the muscle groups on these 2 pages here. I don't have to go over them with you there. You see that? You get that? Okay. In some skates, what will happen is in this area, you'll see bunions start to form. Or in some of the other skates, is that you'll start on the tendon here, you'll see bumps, bone spurs, that all start to happen. And you can relieve the pressure in the skate in that area, and all you have to do is get them bumped out. All right, I bump out all the time in those high heel shoes that you wear, they're big fella, is if you got the bunions, all right, we can bump out a certain spot, you can stretch them out, you can move it around. And the thing what might happen is that the young participant has a spot right here, and what would happen, normally he would have to go, say, to a double E. He wears an E, he had to go double E, but what happens here is the whole boot doesn't fit his foot well. On this one here, it's a double A heel. So it locks my heel in, like I never used a pump. I think half the problem is there, I lost my memory. So I come up through the old system where he had the leathers, and the leathers would roll over, and I had the microns and the langs. So a lot of you won't remember those. So that's the whole thing, is you can get a double A heel, it'll lock your heel in a lot better. For a sizing aspect, what happens is you can take from year to year, you can take the insole out, put it on the floor, you can get them to put their foot on it, you can look that way. As the year is going on, you can haul the insole out and you look at the toe pattern, and that'll tell you right there. When you're buying the skate, open it up like this, slide the foot in, there's the room you need in behind. About that much, that you can get that in behind, and that should do them for the year. Unless you have a massive growth spurt. So, do you have to buy the best skate? No, you don't. There's a lot of peer pressure there that ain't hockey's expensive enough. Is buy a good skate, but I highly recommend that you buy good steel. All right, this is step steel here. Mike has Lightspeed 3, which is good. And like there'd be well over 100 sharpenings on that pair there. And so you can see that I have this left and I have this left. And so you can see this is a 10-foot profile that I put on mine. So good counters, the counter area is this area here. Good counters there. You need a holder that you can change your blades in and out of, and then get the good steel. So there's just, I mean, the peer pressure is unbelievable for the younger kid today. And you got families that are just making ends meet with it all and that, so don't get locked in on that area there. Any questions so far? Pretty clear? All right, what we're going to do is, I'm going to break this out, is we're going to have a look at this. We're just going to move those chairs out of the way. Then we're going to come back to this here, and I'll show you this here. So, what we're looking at on this page right here, you can see effective and ineffective. All right. So, in saying, what we're looking for is to start out with the feet at hip distance. All right. And all you want to do is, that is your starting posture, is hip distance, and I have it in, I broke in the forward stride down into 4 parts. So, proper posture, how you release, how you thrust, and how you recover. And we'll do that right on the ice. So, you can see on the effective one right here, you can see the straight line that is going to go through here. All right? Then you see the ineffective one, how the back is bent over here. All right? So, in saying that, what I need you to do is we'll put the chairs back over. Can everybody could help? We're going to form a circle, and we're going to go through it.
Yep. Camera. We'll ask them when we're done, maybe have what we can do, get a letter or get an email to me.
I didn't know you were
Oh yeah,
I wasn't
I'm
aware.
like
Like, you'd be like, hello, my name is, I wear high heels. Never wore high heels a day in my life. My maiden name is Shia. I was telling him I was the Shia in power.
All right, can we just form a circle, please? Come on in. We're going to tighten up tonight, boys.
Go ahead.
Big circle.
I'll work around you guys.
All right, look at it this way, 4 parts. We're going to break it all down to 4 parts. And I have drills, when we get on the ice, I have the drills for all 4 parts. So, our feet, you might need some room. I would like you to participate in this. So, the easiest way that I tell the kids is, your feet are to be your natural distance, your hip distance, all right? So, would I walk down the road like this here? No, but I will walk down the road like this here. So that's where we want our feet. This, as you're walking, that's where we want it. So just look at it that way. Feet are at hip distance. What you have to do now is this. Okay, you want the arms out of the pockets and everything. Now, what you're looking for is that this knee is out over the toe by 2 inches. And there is a drill for this. And the drill is this right here, that you put it there, and you can see it there. Your stick is vertical, and you can get them to do a self-check, is in this right here. So, you can relax for a second. So that is proper postures there. You want your back up, you want to look big on the ice, you want your head up and everything. If you take your back and you bend your back over, which you'll see a lot of people, what they're doing, what will happen, you'll disengage your glutes and your hamstrings. So, what it should look like is this right here. This whistle, when it's falling down, it should fall in the balls of my feet. So that you're right there. Now watch what happens. See where it goes now? It's out. You're disengaging this and this right here. So, I want this right here. I'm sitting here. My legs are holding me. I want my back up. Now, what I want you to do when you're in this position here, go like this. Bend over. How strong are your glutes now? Can you feel your glutes disengage? Now come back up. Feel your glutes get stronger. All right, and that's what you want. You heard the thing called the core strength, right? And that's, you got 25 vertebrae, you got tendons that join 10 at a time, then you have another band, then the outer band. The core strength is in that 10, that middle band, that you can stop these from going like this here. So, by me, a little exercise you people can do is you take your belly button and you paste it on your back. So just haul it in, put it on your back. And you can feel everything will tighten up. And that's what you're trying to do. You can do that with the kids. So, here we go. We're in the proper posture. And what you want to do is you're going to thrust out to the side, is out here. You're thrusting out here. The angle, all right, the angle, don't you move for me. Okay. All right. The angle, you're pushing out to the side and you're going to end up on that 45-degree angle. Okay, you got that? Everybody relaxes except you. Can I use you as a demonstrator? All right. What will happen here? You ask them to thrust out. He just went like this here. His alignment of his right leg is outside of his hip. You see it right there?